My name is Carson and this is On Air with Heritage Action, a podcast built for conservatives. Twice a week, we break down some of the most important issues facing our country and talk about how you can get involved today in the fight for conservative values. This is a special edition of On Air with Heritage Action recorded on location from Virginia Beach, so please excuse the background noise. Today, Heritage Action is hosting our second Parental Rights Symposium to help train local parents and activists on the best ways they can get involved with their children's education. Behind me, parents, grandparents, and local leaders are taking a quick break in between sessions. Attendees just had an hour of training on how to run for their local school board. And after they get a quick drink and stretch their legs, there will be sessions on how to constructively get more involved with their child's education, as well as how to volunteer as an election worker at their voting precinct. Because at the end of the day, every issue does come back to ensuring the fairness of our elections. If you couldn't be with us in person today, that's okay. All of these resources are available at saveourschools.com. Just go to the website and click on resources. COVID-19 opened our eyes to so many of the problems in our children's education system. We saw the real impacts of the policies and curriculum being pushed by woke school boards and dangerously political teachers' unions. Our children were masked, but the school boards and teachers' unions were unmasked for teaching divisive CRT, for pushing radical gender identity ideology, and for trying to teach our kids that America was a bad country and a racist country. From there, the parental rights movement began to grow. Just as we saw in places like Loudoun County, parents were not going to be silenced. But of course, they were met with massive resistance from liberal education leaders. Just for simply questioning the curriculum or raising concerns about biological men and women's restrooms, leftist teachers' unions, school boards, and even members of the Biden administration villainized parents or called them domestic terrorists. At this point, parents knew they needed to engage with the public school system beyond just attending PTO meetings. They needed to make their voices heard and protect our students. Next, parents started turning out in droves to ask questions to their school board members. They opted their children out of certain curriculum, and some of those who were lucky enough to move their students into different schools or homeschools did so. Many parents took a step further and decided to run for school board. This was a massive undertaking, with school board candidates raising record amounts of money, and in many cases, conservative candidates completely sweeping elections like never before. In Texas, for example, 15 conservative school board candidates each won their elections earlier this year after campaigning on anti-CRT policies and promoting more parental rights. The same trends followed in other states like Kansas and Ohio. And here in Virginia, from the stories out of Northern Virginia and Loudoun County, the parental rights movement went from the parents and school boards all the way up to the gubernatorial race. Last year, Governor Glenn Youngkin became the first Republican to hold that position since 2009. There are a lot of reasons behind his big win, but an important aspect came from the parental rights movement. But the momentum hasn't stopped here in Virginia either. We are seeing more and more conservatives run for school board or get involved in their children's education in other ways. That's where our training comes in. Today, we have over 100 parents learning how to submit FOIA requests to get curriculum information and administrative emails. We are training parents on how to spot and beat back against CRT curriculum. And we are teaching parents about Biden's rulemaking process so they can learn how to fight back against the woke education initiatives from this administration, namely their efforts to destroy women's sports and endanger female students by changing Title IX. The work of our state and federal lawmakers on enacting school choice legislation is a very important part of all of this, and they need to act quickly. But there are so many other ways that parents and activists can make a difference. We look forward to talking with our parents in Virginia Beach and strategizing ways they can get involved. But for those of you in other parts of the country, we have some online resources. Heritage Action recently launched saveourschools.com. On this website, you can learn ways to take action, find various resources for however you want to get involved, watch videos, and sign up to receive text and email updates. We have events across the country with our activists, so we hope those of you at home can join us next time. Across the country, parents are making huge gains in our education fight, but we still have a long way to go. We've known for a while that colleges and universities have been pushing liberal curriculum and teaching revisionist history, but now that influence is reaching our young kids. Our children should never be taught that America is a hateful country. They should be taught to be proud to be Americans. They should not be instructed to question their gender identity and not tell their parents, and we should not stand for any policy that puts biological men and women in the same locker rooms, dorm rooms, or competing against each other in sports. Being a kid is hard enough. The last thing we need to do is let the left make it harder. We all know this fight is important. Those of you who are attending our first training in California or who are with us here today in Virginia Beach have taken important first steps in protecting our children's education. But we all need to work together. Do your part in calling out school boards and teachers' unions, and also talk to your neighbors and your friends about what's going on. Make sure they're aware of what they can do and how they can make a difference. They can do something as small as call their member of Congress or state lawmakers, or something as significant as running for school board. Or they can join our Sentinel program. We look forward to talking to all the parents and activists here in Virginia Beach, but also across the country. Thank you to all the parents who have been involved in the Save Our Schools movement and continue to make progress for our children. We will continue holding school boards and teachers' unions accountable, and will continue promoting school choice at all levels of government. And remember, for more resources and ideas on how to get involved in your child's education, just head over to saveourschools.com. That's it for another episode of On Air with Heritage Action. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you heard in today's episode, please click the follow button. If you want to receive a text message each time a new episode airs, text podcast to 51776 and you'll never miss an episode. That's podcast to 51776. Hi, it's me again, and we need your help. If you like the insights and activist resources we are providing, please take 1 minute and help us spread the word. Share this episode with friends and family on social media, email, or text. We need everyone's help in the fight to hold Washington accountable. And don't forget, you are also able to subscribe and listen to episodes on your smartphone. Just open up your favorite podcast app and search for On Air with Heritage Action. Click subscribe and download episodes so that you can take them with you on the go. It's the best way to make sure you never miss a thing. Thanks.